right? Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakadash. Also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. On the high spirit, well, I'm sorry. And we got the GMS Mississippi count. I'm so used to doing it, But yeah.
The morning routine.
That morning routine, yeah, come.
That's
But
a good thing.
that's a good thing. Through the spirit and power, you have us from outside. But we were expecting some very severe weather, so we're gonna do a in-house live stream. Then, Abba willing, tomorrow we'll do a on-site ministry. All right. So we're going to go into, the clock is ticking, headed towards the Karagma. All right. We're the last times, man, and I have reason to believe. We have reason to believe. All right, through the spirit, man, something else is about to happen. It's gonna put the country on lock. I believe the prophets, they are already on the books. So something else is about to happen, and we're just stepping stones headed into the end times, man. Ultimately, the Karagma.
I got a precept.
All right.
There's Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
It will surely come, it will not tarry. And right now, it's not tarrying. Because we could say it feels like it's tarrying because brother has been in the truth 5, 10, 15 years. But look how fast time is flying. All right? Look how fast time is flying. We're already mid-year. We had a New Year's Eve of destruction, a Passover, and now we're here. All right? So it's not tarrying anymore, man. All right? So we're at the last few seconds of this man's kingdom. All right? Anybody anything? And if brother, we get still right 36, make the time short. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, starting verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of the hearing of the words of the Lord Yahweh.
Yep. So you're gonna take for granted. You take it for granted. The apostles being on YouTube, we being on YouTube, the truth being on YouTube. You can just pull up a brother's page and start watching, or start scoffing. All right, but pretty soon it's not going to be here.
Yeah.
And what we know from past experience, from the past great events that happen, all right, when you're in dire situations, you seek truth.
Yeah.
You seek answers. Because you want comfort.
A sense of direction.
A sense of direction, right?
And see, like you saying, this is that time where it's not the famine of the word yet. So you're still able to receive wisdom, understanding, knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai through the spirit of his prophets, man, to give you that warning, to let you know what's going to happen, which is prophecy. So you still have a chance to take heed of the things that are going to happen, man. And like the brother's going into as far as that Karagma comes. Because once the Lord takes his men off the streets, man, and this devil come down with that hell, okay, and all assets of necessities are cut, you're going to be looking to turn towards something. And if you don't have the Holy Spirit or understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, you're going to seek Egypt, man, which is so-called white man, for his outage, if you will, which is going to be what? Bowing the knee and taking the Karagma, man.
And I got quick. And basically, like you brought out in Habakkuk 2, he said, wait, it may tarry, but wait for it.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna this Sirach 2. And 14. Woe unto you that lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? And basically I brought that out, because it's Terry, like it's been true for a long time.
Yep.
A lot of brothers, they ain't here no more.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So they lost patience. A lot of women come in, we want the Lord come back right then and there, but it don't happen. It's never on our time. So if you feel like it, best you lost patience. And in a day, the Lord didn't want you.
Yep.
Right, that's it, brother.
And the truth like a war of attrition. You familiar with that term, war of attrition? And it's pretty much when one side try to wear the enemy down, like through sieges or tampering with their economics or tampering with their social climate within a society. You know, it's like pretty much like a war of pettiness. You know, and the truth is like a war of pettiness, man. Over time, you know, you have to endure, you know, the pettiness and the bitterness and the waiting and the preaching and waiting and preaching and waiting is the same thing until it actually happens.
Yep.
You know, so that's why, you know, this thing is a marathon. You know, that's why you always have to look long term and set yourself up for a marathon in the truth, man. Because you ain't gonna sprint, you know, to the end, man. You gotta set yourself up for a marathon, and it's a game of patience, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And one thing I know about a marathon, you don't compare yourself to the next person.
Nah.
In a sprint, you naturally compare yourself to the next person
Yeah.
because that's the competitive nature of it.
Right.
But in a marathon, you don't compare yourself to the next person.
Right.
So a brother might have a faster pace and he's going past you or whatever may have you, but it's all about your consistency.
Yeah.
All right, because we've had men come into the truth who started out like sprint runners, but then they're not here anymore, like the brother was saying.
Right. Right.
So we gotta pray to Yahweh Bahashim Shai that he doesn't take his spirit from us, man.
Right.
And we can't have that Western mindset of everybody sees me running, or I'm out running everybody, I'm the one popular runner, like, you know, the Sakaris and all that. All right? No, we have this a run with humility, with a pace, with patience, endurance, man.
Yeah.
You know?
God.
I'm with purpose. I'm like, I got to get something.
That's it, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You work out. Do a little, bro.
I just read with this 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Yep.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run not as uncertainty, so fight I not as one that beateth the air. So you running with a purpose. You know, that's the thing is everything you do should have a purpose to it. You should have, an objective, all right, to every lesson you do, not doing it just to be seen,
Yeah.
be heard, show how deep you are.
Yeah.
Now you should have an objective to it, like you should want to, the listener should leave edified, which is built up, and this is what we're here for because it's a daily build up, to the hour of temptation, This the grace period was to build us up for the endurance of the hour of temptation, man, when we're pretty much going to have to conquer the flesh. Because that's what Esau Edom is about to do. He's about to shut people off from their flesh. And see, if you were slave to your flesh, he got the leverage on you, man. So this grace period was for us to start conquering and dominating the flesh, man. We're not going to be perfect. Still, that flesh is always going to be there, okay? But it should get to the point to where the spirit is in the driver's seat, man. But a lot of people are going to fold because Esau is going to cut them off from their flesh, and you're going to have to get that device to get back to that flesh, man.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, starting at verse 32. Whatsoever therefore shall whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven.
And you don't just do it on camera, confessing. It's in your walk, your conduct. Okay? Like you confess your house in your day-to-day conduct, man. Who you are. That's confessing your house. Of course it's gonna manifest verbally, as we do these lessons and sit downs, But the most important thing is turning into your house, conforming into your house, okay? Because guess what? A lot of these jakes that talk about the law, they offended at particular things in the law.
Yeah.
They offended about Hebrew culture.
Yep.
You see, you still got niggas that'd rather live by no snitching, okay, than open rebuke.
Yeah.
Okay? What's the car say? If he go to prison, he gonna claim crip. Wait a minute. So what about your house shot? He's embarrassed of your house shot in front of niggas of the world.
His popular partner.
Yeah.
You like got a homeboy in the hood. Y'all stay in the same neighborhood. Y'all grew up kind of around each other. When you get around your homeboys, y'all all play basketball. You act like you don't know the dude in your neighborhood, man.
Right.
You're ashamed of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how Jake do your house shot.
Yeah.
You you get on all these podcasts and it's barely even mention of your house shot. Like you can talk about your house shot for hours.
Yeah.
You know, so if you know, which we don't condone going on no podcast, man. But if they gonna give you that platform, okay, you ain't gonna put it on for your house shot. Even if they cut the mic, it's out there.
Right.
You know, if you going live and they, get this nigga out of it. Well, guess what? Hey, he out there. At least the controversy be for your house shot instead of some goddamn Hoover Crip, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, basically what you going into.
Yep.
You know,
He
he
denying them.
had a whole platform to magnify the name Yahweh Shem Shah. Well-known platform. But basically, you tucked your tail and sold out. In a sense, because you denied it.
He conformed to them niggas, man.
Yeah.
You know? Because he still got that youthful lust. And it's a lot of Israelites. You know, he's just a leader, okay, of, you know, a lot of Israelites that know they're Israelites, but they still have this youthful lust, man. You know? A lot of our people, as we can see through the behavior that's happening amongst Israel, they're not prepared as we going into these end times. They're not being girded to go through these things, man.
Right.
Okay? They're still obsessed with clout and popularity, man. Children. Okay? This grace period for us to grow up. Hey, you see? You gotta grow.
Him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
Yep. So how he's gonna deny you, man? Okay? You're not gonna have favor in the time of chaos. You see, we finna see the benefits of being in good standings with your house shot. You see, you still got a bunch of Israelites, their main concern is about being in good standings with this world. You know? In good standings, okay, with this society. Okay? But our mindset, we should have good standings towards your house shot. You know?
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Go ahead.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother.
Yeah, so this is what we at. This is what you're seeing happening because it's this doctrine that causes the separation of family, separation of loved ones, man, close friends, childhood friends. This doctrine, man, because by default, as we start to follow Yahweh Shai is drawing us away from this world. Okay, he's isolating us from this world, from this age. You see?
And daughter-in-law against mother-in-law.
Yep.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Yeah, and this is what you have real time. You know, where you have certain families where you have, you know, only the husband believe. You might have certain families where only the wife believe, the daughter believe, and what does it cause? A separation. You know. Now we balance it out and teach to be cordial, but ultimately, man, if you follow your house shot, you're going in the opposite direction of the rest of the world, man, because this world is going directly to the MOTB, man. Okay? All roads lead to the MOTB in this society, man, no matter what sect you're part of, no matter what's your social status, okay, your financial status, it all leads to the MOTB, man. Your house shot is the only alternate from the course, all right, of the MOTB, man. Bending the knee. Yeah, so, okay, we got it.
Hey, this is 1 John 2
St. John 17.
and 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Yep.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
And see, we to the point now where we should be denouncing this whole age, man. You know? But like I say, we're becoming adults in this thing, man. You see, when you become adult, you have completely different interests than when you was a child, man. Okay? And this world, pretty much, even when you look at this world, it keeps you in the mindset of a child, man. You know? Look at the adults in this world. They always doing some type of TikTok challenge.
Yeah.
Okay? Colorful hair. You see? They judge people by a pair of shoes. There's a child. Okay? Here it is, this man might be able to build a house from scratch through the engineering and plumbing, but this world will judge him by a pair of shoes.
Right.
Okay? Childish, man. So the things, the desires that people have in this world, man, we should become dead to those things. Like we really, like we really should be beginning to understand what it means to be dead, man. I mean, this shit don't move us, man. Okay, we ain't got no get up and go about this shit like everyone else do, man. We do what we gotta do to maintain our situation, using the word, man. But in love with it, nah, man. You know? Yeah.
And verse 16, all that all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh,
Mm-hmm.
the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is now the father is of the world.
Yup, so he said the lust of the eye, you know, and the scripture say talk about how the eye is never satisfied. Okay? And this goes back into how the spirit is supposed to govern our lower nature. I think you was getting into that before, bro. You know? Because the lower nature doesn't have a turn off. Okay? The flesh don't turn off. The flesh is always on go. That's why you can always eat, you know. When you rejuvenate, you can always deal with another woman. You know, if she arouses your flesh. And see, like Elder Proud Poem said, the flesh don't care. The flesh don't know that this is a married woman you're entering into. It just feels good. The flesh don't know that this is shrimp that you eat. It don't care. It just tastes good.
Yeah.
The spirit is supposed to govern that, man.
Yeah.
And see, if you not moving in the spirit and you driven by your flesh, okay, you pretty much in self-destruct mode, man. And that's why you see these people with the lust of the eye, you know, always wanting to get to the next plateau to be seen, all right, in a particular way by this society. What does it lead to? Their own destruction, man. You know? You can say something?
Yeah, I was thinking like this image of the beast system, it pretty much like has groomed everybody to become addicted to the ways of the society.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that fleshly behavior.
Mhm.
So it's gonna pull away at the flesh so much. So when they really introduce this MOTB, you already
Yeah,
there.
that's
You know
what we
what I'm
just
saying?
talking about. Like, that's
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
Cause you feel it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. That's it.
This is the last one. Verse 17, and the world passed away, and the lust thereof, and he that do it, and he that do the will of Yahweh Shai abide forever.
You know, said this world passed away. This age is ion. Okay, and each age comes with its own standard. Okay, and in the age of the beast, Esau, Edom. Okay, people are measured, you know, by what their net worth, how many followers they have, trendiness. Okay,
Your bank account.
you know what you look like, you know what your body shape like, your ride. You know, that's the standard of this society. But in the world to come, those are not going to be the standards, man.
Yeah.
And see, we're already conforming to the age that Yahweh Shai's finna usher in. It's just Jake really don't get what's going on. Yahweh Shai's finna usher in a new age, the eternal age.
Yeah.
What are you guys here for, man?
Yeah.
You still, you know, sending wee pics? What you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is they? You be like, what is they doing?
Like you say, just childish mindset. I mean, they don't have no sense of true reality when it comes to the scriptures, man. They lost and trapped in the matrix. They think this is just a society of gonna happen again, or it's gonna be back to normal. You know, they not really understanding, looking at there's judgment coming to the earth, man, from on high. I mean, the scripture goes to how it's gonna be a time like never before there was a nation, man. The Lord is gonna bring straight terror to these people, man. And he sent forth his prophets to warn them. Like the priest going into, people just think everything is a game. This is not a fucking game, man. Everybody want to act like, or the people in the world act like this is just a good time and mirth is at its height, man. We're in a time of destruction, man. We're in a time of straight judgment coming to America, man. And you Israelites really gonna catch holy hell from on high, man, because you just drowning yourself in doing everything you can to just please Esau, man. You're keeping his society thriving, man, because wickedness pushed this aside.
Yeah.
So niggas in that mindset, they in the way.
They in the way.
They gotta be cleared out.
You gotta get done with it, man. You gotta get out the way.
And like you said, like we already developing that spiritual mindset for Yahweh Shai's age.
Yep.
You know, so the majority of the world, they already caught up in this cesspool. So this is gonna be tossed to the side, discarded.
Yep.
Like 2/3 of our people, they gonna have to be born through the elect on the net side. You know.
They got to be son, what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I got this one. You go ahead.
Nah, I got this Romans 12 and starting in verse 1 in the NLT. It says, and so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua because of all he has done for you.
And see, that's the other thing. Like you have all these members in all these groups, but those men are not occupied. You know, you give your body, you know, that means that you really, you know, have to sacrifice time and effort, you know, towards your ministry because each brother got their own channel, you know, and that channel is like a brother's own enterprise, you know, and the brother has to maintain their enterprise. So this is what we're occupied in, man. But if you got all these men and they just there, okay, with the red cups, you know, partying and dropping mixtapes, okay, mingling with other men, wives, they not occupied in nothing, man.
No.
You know, so they're able to still get into those useful lusts because they're not occupied. Like you say, when you become an adult, you become occupied in adult things. You gotta start looking way ahead when you become adult. When you child, you just with the right now. You know, just so enamored with the right now. You know?
Like even the fleshly adults in this damn time, they be like, "Well, I don't got time to do that like I used
Yeah,
to."
yeah.
They say that. They
Yeah.
have enough some type
Yeah.
of common sense to say that.
Yeah.
So how much more within the spirit, you know? So it says, "Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world."
Don't copy the behavior and the customs of this world. Okay? Having these, you know, gatherings with men and women, you know, this co-education. That goes back to the Greeks, man, that whole co-ed thing, man. Okay? That's why you have these classrooms today of co-education, man. Men are supposed to be when a man gets a certain age, he breaks off from his mother and starts to be groomed by his father, hands on, man. You know, he starts to be around his fathers and uncles, man. Okay? But in this society, you have men and women, all right, in the same classrooms together, man, which that's off. So IUIC is copying the behavior of this world. It's nothing but, it's like a big high school. Okay? It's like a high school setting. So you got some jakes going on, because what, in the classroom, you bust jokes for who?
Oh, yeah,
For the females, you know? The niggas laugh cool, but shit, he's trying to be funny for, you know, for the women. Okay? So you got the same setting as a high school classroom, man. Okay? Then you partying together. It's the same setting as the club. Going back to the Bacchus spirit, man. You're copying the conduct of the world. Yeah? Yeah, bro.
It says, "But let Yahweh Bashim Shah transform you into a new person by changing the way you think."
Ooh, changing the way you think. Man, we had Nate, he laughed at the situation.
Oh, crazy, yeah.
Bro, adultery is serious, man.
Serious offense.
You know, like, why? Do you know how destructive that is to our nation, adultery?
Definitely.
And you notice when he joked about it, since he's the leader of the organization, everybody else started laughing.
Yeah.
But if he had that serious mindset, everybody else probably been serious
That's
too.
right.
You know?
It's the way of the king, so is his people.
And he said, yeah, I like this type. Like, you know, what the hell going on here, man? You know, but under that umbrella of Jesus Christ. Serapis Christus, man, the idol.
Because, I'm sorry.
No, you got it.
Because what happens in the regular nigga churches? Adultery.
No adultery.
You know, the women are the most provocative on Sundays, man.
Yep.
Sexual, as far as the dress and their attire. You know?
That's right. So it says, "Then you will learn to know Yahweh Bahashel Yahshai's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect."
Every Israelite has a purpose, man. You know? Every Israelite man and even woman has a purpose, man. And you understand that purpose as you learn the ways of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. As we start applying these things and understanding these things, then we understand what the will of the Lord is. Like, we were the sons of God. We were supposed to be ruling the earth in righteousness, man. We were supposed to be keeping this thing in check. We fell off from that. But now we understand, okay, when we get back in power, okay, and you'll never let this shit happen again. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole, matter of fact, get that in real quick. Psalms 119 and 73.
Yeah, I got one too.
You got one too? Come, bro. Come, bro. You see? Jake is just here. Fringes on everything.
Right.
Fringes in the picture.
Yep.
Right. You move the fringes.
Just take it. Man, bro.
God damn.
What was this song?
Yeah. 119 and 73 bottle shot.
Okay.
And then the picture floating around, like, what is it? What is going on, man? What are we doing? Yeah, several people got to like it, you know. It's an idol now. Like, goddamn, what is going on? You got it.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 73.
Yep.
God, thy hands have made me and fashioned me.
Stop. It might be 71. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Go back. 119. It might be 71. Yeah, 71. Yep.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 71.
Yep.
It is good for me that I have been afflicted,
Yep.
that I might learn thy statutes.
That we may learn his statutes. Read that in NLT.
Psalms 119, verse 71 in NLT. My suffering was good for me.
Yep.
For it taught me to pay attention to your decrees.
It taught me to pay attention to your decree. So this affliction was supposed to make us appreciate righteousness, man. And it's a torture that we don't have the power to enforce righteousness in the earth, man. You see? But that goes back to as we being conformed back to righteousness, man. We understand that the Lord, all right, he brought us forth as his sons to rule the earth in righteousness, and we fumbled. So what we're doing now, we're fighting to get back to that glory, man.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like in the spirit of just like.
Yeah.
I say he was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Yeah.
Like with the conduct of the world. And that was just like what? Thousands of years ago. So how much more this time frame, the worse and the worse.
Even in the world coming up, man, like I speak on my behalf, my parents. Them ass whoopings, I used to hate that shit. Them punishments, not letting me go outside and do shit. You know what I'm saying? I hated that shit. But now, a grown man, I appreciate that discipline. Okay, them ass whoopings, that affliction. Because it kept me from being a bigger nigga.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. So how much more the Heavenly Father, man, these afflictions he giving us, man, us learning and understanding his ways, man, and what we were doing was completely off. You know, this is a beautiful spiritual ass whooping, man, because it can save your life.
Meanwhile, this is how Jake is acting within that grace period.
Yeah. Jake is doing the same thing that got us in captivity. This is why we fell off. Undisciplined.
Yeah.
The flesh. You go back to Adam, what was it? He succumbed to the flesh. King Solomon, he succumbed to the flesh. Yahweh Shah conquered the flesh to get back to the glory, man. So that's the archetype that the Most High sent down for us to follow, man.
Yeah, now that I think about it, like Adam means from the ground, like in a symbolic way, it's like representative of the flesh. Like
base.
Yeah. Because he was without the spirit. He had the laws, but he just didn't have, the spirit. He was just going off his natural devices. That's why he failed. And then going back to King Solomon, I think it is in one account where he measured out 666 shekels of gold and silver, and but it measured out 666.
Yeah.
And it went back to the number of man.
Yeah.
So it was like King Solomon was still one short of perfection.
Yeah.
So like these different carnations, he's like always, it's like it's representative in one way, shape, or form of like flesh, less of perfection.
Yeah.
Carnality.
Yeah, just real quick. This 1 Peter 3, I'm reading in NLT, verse 17. Remember, it is better to suffer for doing good. If that is what the Most High wants, then suffer for doing wrong.
To suffer for doing good, the Lord is chastening us and dealing with us, man. But when you're suffering from doing wrong, that means you're not getting it. Right. That's why a lot of times we'll find ourselves, in the same situation. We be like, it's prolonged. That's because, hey, it's something that we not getting. Okay? Because the Lord, he always, even when he level you up, there's another level of suffering, then you level up. But if you're going through the same suffering, man, you get to the point you're suffering because you're not getting it.
Right.
Okay? So you see Jake and our people, even like our peoples in the world, okay, I was thinking about this today. Like, we the only culture of people that mass reproduce the lowest tier of our people.
Ain't that some shit?
You know what I'm saying? I would
Ain't that some
think
shit?
Damn.
Yeah.
we the only people that do that. But then they complain about the results.
Yeah.
But look at
Yeah.
what you mass produce the lowest tier of your people.
Yeah.
More production line.
Yeah,
Hard work production.
because
All type
think
of
about it.
defense.
The Edomite woman, she might have a little time when she have fun with Brad. All right?
Right.
But she gonna marry Bryce. She gonna have children with Bryce.
Right.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
But with our culture, it's the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like the worst people of our culture reproduce the most.
Yep. Yep.
Don't know who the father is. You get somebody you get.
But it then demand that a man steps up.
Right.
The real man steps up. I discovered this degenerate had his babies, but I demand a real man to come step up.
Yeah. Take care of this degenerate baby
Yeah,
from this degenerate man that I got pregnant with.
that's right.
Well, Jake get the worst women pregnant.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Sexy
yeah.
Red ain't supposed to be pregnant.
She ain't
Like,
supposed to, yeah.
what are we doing?
Sexy Red supposed to be on back page.
Yeah.
That's the only way we should know.
It's supposed to be spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Correction received.
So now Jake in their mindset now, like, this is a problem we need to fix the so-called community.
Yeah.
Here, meanwhile, you see the assembly line all jammed up now.
Yeah,
All the
yeah,
defense.
Yeah, they're gonna quit on the job.
Yeah.
Like you say, boxes falling off the assembly line.
Yeah.
It's just, it's through.
So that shows you through the spirit, it gotta be an ethnic cleansing. It has to be. You know, it shows you right there through the spirit, it has to be an ethnic cleansing. That's what Yahushua gonna do when he return.
Yeah.
That's why it's known as the second death.
I got it for you. This book of Jeremiah, chapter 35, starting verse 15.
Yep.
I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now, every man from his evil way,
Yep.
and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them.
The prophets were always sent out for restoration, man. You know, the Lord didn't send the prophets out, okay, just because, you know, he wanted to be heard. No, he sent the prophets out because it was to restore Jake, man. That's why the prophets always had the same message of returning unto Yahweh Shem Al Shah, because our people will go so far left. We will go so far left to the Lord would put his spirit on particular men, all right, for correction. And see, going back to nigga culture, correction is hate. You know?
Yeah.
That's how they view correction, is you hate.
Right.
Okay? But there's nobody that hates, all right, our people more than themselves, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And ye shall dwell in the land which I have given you and to your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me.
Yeah, so even when you look at, you talk about simplicity in Yahweh Shai, okay? The Lord always send a direct and clear message to our people. If you obey, this will happen. If you disobey, this gonna be your circumstance. Okay? And Jake always try to make it complicated with these gray areas, and you know, and gray areas are all to just justify the flesh, man.
Yeah.
You know, when you get into these gray areas, man. Okay? But the Lord always send the prophets out with commandments directly from Yahweh Shemal Shai. Okay? For the restoration before judgment, man. So if you don't start that process of being restored, okay, the Lord just gonna preserve you for judgment. You got it, bro.
This see what John 17.
Matter of fact, hold that, get that. You had some?
Yeah,
Yeah, get
quick.
yours, bro. You had some?
It says,
Get
this
Isaiah 1 and
Jeremiah 5 verse 5, I will give meat unto the great men and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord Yahweh and the judgment of their power.
Yeah, so the Lord begins to deal with, he sends his spirit, okay, on his men, because the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet, okay? And it comes a time where each prophet, all right, is activated by this word. And those are the great men. Because you look at the prophets make up the what? 144,000 of first fruits. So when the Lord, all right, activates that spirit within the prophet, those are those great men who understands the Lord's judgment, man. You know, and we come and put judgment in the gate, showing our people, okay, the do's and don'ts according to the standard of this, man, of the scriptures, man. You got it. Oh, that was it. Get there real
I got a good one for
Okay,
you.
come.
Hey, just to back you up, Ecclesiasticus 1:14.
Yep.
To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb.
Ooh, it was created with the faithful in the womb. And see, this is what we seeing amongst these other congregations as well, the lack of fear. You know, because we in the flesh. Okay? So you can look at, you know, you can get aroused and be like, damn, it's another man, woman. Then the fear kick in, like, that shit off limits. You know? And we in the flesh, we men, and then the way women dress, you lusting before you, but then you got it, bro.
No, I'm just saying, made a point. You notice it for
Yeah.
the spirit take over.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's another man, woman.
Yeah.
You know.
And the fear, like, that shit, automatic, it's off
Yeah.
limits.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why we need mercy.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, you can't stop yourself from looking at something like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, the fear and the faith kick in, but before then, you still went off.
Yep.
So without the mercy of Yahweh Shem Shah, we would all be dead.
Because they say scientifically, a man looks at a woman before he is aware that he's looking at a woman. Like, you know, you the first couple seconds, you're not even making a conscious decision to look at her. You know?
It's just deep. You know, Yahushua said, adulterous generation.
And the woman is dressing for what? Attention.
Mhm.
That's our currency.
That's her currency.
And like you always say, Quan, you gotta throw that quick prayer, say Salakia.
Yeah.
You know, when so you always gotta be asking for forgiveness throughout the day, man. Like Elder Yashua woman with the brothers in Dallas, you know, it's going into how that blood in house shot, man. It does so much. You know? Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 32.
You get that? Isaiah? Yeah.
It's Isaiah 1:19.
Yeah.
If you be willing to be obedient,
Start at 18.
right? It's Isaiah 1:18.
Yep.
Come now and let us reason together. Say Yahweh Shah, through your sins, be as a scarlet.
Yep. And be a scarlet, yep.
Be as a scarlet.
Yep.
And shall be as white as snow.
Yeah, and how is that through Yahweh Shai? And it said, come let us reason. See, this grace period, this is the Lord reasoning with us, man. You see, we serve a just power. Because we went off, but the Lord is still willing to reason. And why is he willing to reason? Because of what Yahweh Shai did.
Sacrifice.
Going back to the Prince of Peace. You know, he pretty much opened up the talks again, man. Because the Lord would do with us, man. He just letting these heathens have his way with us. In captivity. You go to Daniel 7, you go to all them empires that came. Guess what? We was in captivity through all of them. From Daniel 7 to 7, we was in captivity, man. The Babylon, the Syrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans.
We stay like that.
yeah. We were prison niggas, man.
Yeah. For real.
Stay in the prison.
Right. In Lamentation, the second chapter goes to how the Most High was like an enemy to us.
Yeah.
So here is our Creator being an enemy to us, you know,
Yeah.
His creation.
And the grace period he dealing.
Yeah.
And like I say, that's why you have this grace until where the Lord understands, okay, you're gonna go off here and there, but we don't deal. Just do this, look, this is what I want you to do. Treat your brother like you would treat yourself. Put me first. And we can deal from there.
Right.
That's doable. Yahweh Shah made it doable. Okay? But here it is. Adultery, is that doing your brother like you want to be done? But these men will kick you in the head with the law. You know? Here it is, you coming out of Target, you know, with the cookies and cream ice cream, this nigga kick you in the head with the law. Asking you where your friends is at, man.
Yeah.
But goddamn, you then what he went and saw the picture and came back and sent by the woman husband.
Yeah.
God damn.
He probably has a fringe in his mouth and brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had your fringes on though. And that's the point. That goes to show you that this thing is all spiritual, because the fringes was nothing but what? A reminder to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. However, if your spirit ain't right, you ain't gonna do right anyway.
Right.
So you could plaster that shit around your head, around your arms and wristbands. But at the end of the day, if your spirit has not been converted to do right, you still gonna go off.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why that nigga zipped up his pants, pulled down his shirt with his fringes on after he sent the picture and sat beside that dude, man.
See, Jake think that adultery is like a badge of honor for them. They feel like they done conquered something because they done dealt with another man, woman, man. And it's like a sense of pride for them. Like it makes their chest stick out there. Yeah, I had her. You know what I'm saying? I had her. He don't even know. And that shit hella wicked, man.
Hey, because the God of this world, he weaponized Jake rappers to have that type of influence on the rest of Jake. It's like a badge of honor.
And blues niggas too.
Oh yeah, blues the worst.
Yeah.
He on it too.
But think about the master plan though. That's a sin worthy of death.
Yeah.
And that's why Esau allows Jake to push that shit. So even when Nate basically is, well, we know adultery is no laughing matter, but he took light of it. So that shows you that Nate is a hireling, because at the end of the day, when you're breaking that shit down and going into the account of what happened, there's nothing funny about that.
No.
That is a sin worthy of death.
And not to mention, that's vexing. And you know what I mean? Like that's the personal offense in that. You know?
Yeah, like think how the victim felt. The Jake,
Yeah.
his wife did that to him.
Yeah.
Here you go, your leader laughing about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, making light of it.
Yeah, man.
And that family ruined.
Yeah.
Like that family ruined. You can't go back to. You can't undo this.
Two families.
Yeah. You got it, bro.
Back in Isaiah 1 and 18, start back over. Come now and let us reason together, said Yahweh. Through your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. If you be willing and obedient, you should eat the good of the land.
Eat good of the land, speaking about Jerusalem. Okay, written with us in Jerusalem represents rulership. So obedience leads to rulership. But then on the flip side, go ahead.
Verse 20. If you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of Yahweh has spoken.
Yeah, so if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword. So if you be obedient, you shall eat of the good of the land, which goes into rulership. Okay? But if you be disobedient and rebel, you're going to have to deal with the sword. So the Lord always will send his prophets, because that's prophet Isaiah speaking to Israel, and he's speaking to the leadership, okay, on how to move, all right? And then there's two options. The Lord never dealt with gray area. You got this option, life and death. Moses came and presented what? Life and death, okay? And you still got our people just infatuated with death, man. Because, like I say, adultery, that's really worse than killing the man. Because he got to live with that torture, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Then they got kids, he got to still see the woman,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Yeah, that shit hit different.
yeah.
Yeah.
That shit hit different. Knowing a man, lay down with your woman, now you got all these different thoughts of what they was doing,
Yeah.
her responses, what she, her behavior was different with him than yours.
Yeah.
You know, that shit hits a man different, man.
Yeah.
And that's when that rage started building up. Now this man is contemplating putting this man to death, man.
And he could rightfully do it.
And he can rightfully do
You know, you can't do it in this society,
it.
but and I mean he could rightfully, and then really the punishment should be on Nick.
He's pretty much allowed.
He's allowed it. That shit, he should at least be exiled or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but he's probably making light of it because he's a damn. He might be an adulterer.
So crossed my mind.
I mean, what about like if you make light of some shit like that? Like same thing in this kingdom, right? They passing these LGBTQ laws. Why? Because the rules are LGBTQ.
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen the video yet.
Yeah.
But if you make light of that, as a man of the Lord, what's really going on?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that he did that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
But what he's saying, I mean, that even, you know what I'm saying, makes you wonder, because he said, I like stuff like this.
And what
But what was the conversation about?
What the scripture states about a man's gait and his laughter
Yeah.
shows what he's about.
Yeah. And then, you know, hey, everything gonna come out to the light, man. But you gotta understand, man, when you got, see, especially in this society, 90% of the women are adulterers.
Yeah.
You got a few that even though they was in different relationships, they was deal with one man at a time.
Yeah.
You got a few women that was like that, okay? But with the tribe, especially the Southern Kingdom, 90% of them adulterers anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, like
That's the culture.
it's already justified within them.
Yep.
You know.
Because they think their philosophy is I'm single to marry anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. So even these women, they might be so-called Hebrew women. They might still, like in your congregation, solidify marriage through the state. Well, you know, he ain't married me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or, go ahead, bro.
I was say you got a woman that's pushing. I think Ella, not the Zakba did a lesson about that little chick that's saying that little sex ain't marriage, and she knows she's an Israelite. That's a bad girl.
Yeah. And then there'll be so-called Hebrew women, but he might have another rib on the side, right?
Yeah.
So she'll justify her actions because she found out he got another rib on the
He
side.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you really can't tell these hoes what you're about. Because at the end of the day, they ain't gonna use them for an angle.
Yeah.
In most cases, you know what I'm saying? But the true definition of adultery is what? When another man sleeps with another man's wife.
Right.
Period. You know?
It's an old movie. I don't know. I remember. What's the movie? The Impact. I remember Jean-Claude Van Damme. I guess they took his woman, so one of the twins went pick up, get the woman, and the woman got one of them. I guess one like married to her. I guess married to her, right? And he kept drinking. You saw how he turned to rage and showed jealousy. Man, he was drinking. He'd punch a wall. Dude, like he in his mind, he was thinking his brother was sleeping with his woman. That's how he was. But as soon as he brought her back to him, he started fighting him. Cause he had it in his mind that she was sleeping or he was sleeping with his woman. And like you said, that guy probably like,
That rage.
Yeah.
he done it to me.
It was like a build up.
It was built up.
You probably like thinking like, okay, that's why she was acting like that day.
Yeah.
You know, just being,
And
contemplating.
that shit drive you crazy.
And only being in love with a woman can do that.
Yep.
Hey, and
That's what.
go ahead, bro.
No, that's what promotes the rage. Because you done gave your heart to her.
You done invest.
You done invested in her.
Well, and you trusted her.
That's right.
Jealousy is the rage of a man. You know, like I said, it's really the act of the Most High Spirit put on that man to act on that. But we know we got limitations on this crooked society.
Right.
But hey, that's why the 2/3 of our people gonna go, man.
You got it, bro.
Hey, this is Micah 3:1 in the NLT. I said, listen, you leaders of Israel, you are supposed to know right from wrong.
Yep.
Verse 2, but you are the very ones who hate good and love evil.
So when you're in leadership, because see, if you're a leader, because you go back to it, the king will have to read the whole law. He will have to read the law often. If you're in a leadership position, you're supposed to be pretty much like a lawyer. You know, as a king, you're a judge. You're supposed to pretty much be like a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, you should be the one that's well versed in the law, the interpretation, the practical interpretation of the law. That's why you have, you know, the office of the kings and the office of the priests, because pretty much the priest was experts in the law, but the king would be the one to enforce the law practically, okay, in the day-to-day society, man. So both of them will have to be well versed in the law.
And to back your point, that's why the kingdom of heaven is going to be what? King and priest.
And priest.
That's right. Right. Back into the scripture. You skin my people alive and tear their flesh from their bones.
Mm-hmm.
So you teach that they are Israelites, but you still do something. Yes, you eat my people's flesh and strip off their skin and break their bones. You chop them up like meat for the cooking pot.
Yeah, because through their behavior, because see, being an Israelite, see, they make being an Israelite an outward thing.
That's right.
But what the scripture say, how Jews is one inwardly.
That's right.
In the book of Romans.
That's right.
You see, because they can verbalize that they're Israelites, but their identity is of heathens.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing but, that's nothing, like what they're doing is what we grew up in.
That's right.
It's no different.
Nigga culture.
Yeah. It's just nigga culture.
That's
Well,
right.
adultery is a sport,
Never put out the old man.
you know?
Mhm.
They never converted.
But why? Because of leadership. First off, you're pushing Christ, which puts spirits on your congregation. Okay? And then you're teaching lies. You see? And then you got all that co-ed. You know? You got it, bro.
Yeah. Hey, back into the scripture, it states, uh, verse 4. Then you beg Yahweh for help in times of your trouble. Do you really expect him to answer? After all the evil you have done, he won't even look at you. Verse 5. This is what Yahweh says. You false prophets are leading my people astray. You promise peace for those who give you food, but you declare war on those who refuse to feed you.
Dang.
And that's the point. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shemashah is not looking at Nate as a pleasing sight, because he's not enforcing the law, statutes, and commandments. So you're supposed to be this so-called priest or leader of Israel, but at the end of the day, your actions is actually contrary to your behavior, man.
And there's no telling, because, and then as a leader, why would you even cause he put the pictures up there? Like, why would you put your congregation out like that?
Remember when he said, I like that nasty stuff.
Yeah, like, why,
Freaky shit to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's some bad leadership to put the man, here it is, the man already.
And embarrassed,
Yeah.
shame, humiliated.
And then you gonna put the shit out there like you rubbing the shit in.
That's fucked up.
They're fucked up, man. And see, like you say, man, like, that's a slow torture to him, man. He gotta live with that, man. Cause like you say, he powerless, he can't, that's why you would put both on the death.
Right.
That would appease, it'd still be, cause guess what? Cause that's why the law is perfect. Because guess what? The children that man got, guess what? It's easy to get a new mother.
Yeah.
So look, you finna put her to death, and then he get put to death. Now his family gotta suffer based off. You see, like that's why it's a righteous judgment, man.
That's right. And then y'all made a point about they was doing this back in ancient times too, right? Greco, somebody.
Yeah. The co-ed, yeah.
This is 1 Corinthians 5:1.
Yep.
It is reported calmly that there is fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles.
Yep.
That one should have his father's wife.
Yep. Ooh.
Right? So they've been doing that.
Yep.
So let me read this in the NLT. I can hardly believe the report about the sexual immorality going on among you, something that even the pagans or Gentiles don't do. I am told that a man in your church is living in sin with his stepmother. So he's popping his father's wife.
And you got.
Now, so you have Jake in this world, of course not for the most part, do have exception to the rule. They'll have some type of common sense not to mess with their homeboy's woman or something like that. There's standards or boundaries, man. And like for Nate, why would you put that on blast anyway? That should have been kept in private. But the Lord put the spirit upon you to do that so they be more exposed to show just how dirty you all really are.
Because you're not morally oriented, you're money oriented.
That's right.
So you don't even know that you be missing cues, because your mindset is on money, man.
If you're willing, there'll be a wake-up call for that Jake who fell victim to it.
Because that can break his spirit.
Yeah.
And if he falls out of your soul of this thing,
That's blood.
that blood is on your hands, man.
Yeah. Well, if he go off on the deep end and do something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Consider irrational in this time.
Yeah.
That's the blood gonna be on his hands as well.
Right. That's right.
That guy cool for y'all. Like this Psalm 55 and 23 says, but you, I was reading NLT, it says, but you, O Yahweh Bashem Ashai, will send the wicked down to the pit of destruction. Murderers and liars will die young, but I am trusting you to save me. So you read that in the regular, it says, but thou, O Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, should bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men should not live out half their days. So like you said, there's a lot of blood on your hands when you be a so-called leader, and you got these guys look up to you like probably like a spiritual father or something like that.
Yeah.
Here you are misleading, and then you laughing in front of the whole world pretty much by putting it on the internet.
And you're deceitful, because adultery, again, is basically a sin worthy of death. So it's no laughing matter. And first and foremost, like the bros are saying, that shit should have been behind closed doors. Should have been you a couple heads, and you and that brother and that man supposed to deal like that, man.
You got it, bro.
This Proverbs 6.
Get this, it'll be last.
And it's Proverbs 6 in NLT, verse 32. I'm drop down before, but it just, but the man who commits adultery is a ultimate fool, for he destroys himself.
Yeah, how he destroyed himself. Not only was he will be put to death under the old law, but the adultery destroys a nation. That's an attack on your own nation, man. Because you just weaken two families for orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
The bitch get pregnant, we don't know who the father is.
Yeah, all this, you know.
Yeah.
You got
And verse 34 is it for me. For the woman's jealous husband will be furious, and he will show no mercy when he's taking vengeance.
yeah, and he's not supposed to. Now, like I said, we're in this time, we don't condone it, okay? But we see why, and that goes back to us understanding, okay, this is why this was put in place. You see, everybody can just, cause they commercialize the laws with the fringes and 613, but see, they really don't understand the law, the implementation of the law. See, this is what this captivity was supposed to teach us, the implementation of the law, man.
Hey,
How
Nate
to
was
apply.
supposed to stand on business.
Yep.
Right.
He was supposed to stand on business, man.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
The man stand on business.
Yeah,
Man.
he laughed, man. You got
Going
it,
so
bro.
cold, he's just showing the rest of the congregation, really the world, the world Israel, his flaws, those filthy rags, like Nate being a so-called leader. Man.
Yeah.
When you be in that type of position and you would take that so lightly, man.
But he you know, he got to do that because think about it, Esau. He wants to paint the truth and just to be some nigga shit.
That's right.
So this was a good way to present Israel to the world as just some nigga shit. It's freaky, a little freaky shit, man.
That culture.
Yeah, nigga culture.
And that's why we don't allow women in our congregation.
No,
That's right.
Started with the apostles, man. Women bring about wickedness.
Yep.
It changed the whole spirit.
change the atmosphere. Yeah.
Yep.
It's interference.
And that's why that's the spirit. Cause then we finna go into the guns, bro.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
So the Apostle Paul has to write this to current, because remember in the 5th chapter he talks about dealing with his father's, wife, okay, other adultery and sexual immorality. Why, man? Because the custom of the Greeks, they was on that co-ed, mingling with the woman, that spirit of Bacchus, everybody partying, okay. So the Apostle Paul, as he writing to these our people that was Hellenized, man, he's establishing an order. Go ahead.
Verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
Yep.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law.
Yeah, so he had to establish order amongst the church, because that the Greek culture, all right, the woman was liberal.
That's right.
Egyptian culture, the woman was liberal. Can own property, can be in positions of status. Okay?
Yeah.
But that wasn't so amongst, all right, our people. I mean, our culture, because it ran off of patriarch, man.
That's right.
So he dealing with a co-ed, okay, society, and he's establishing order, man.
And I'll bring some up.
Yeah.
Wamba sent me this yesterday. It actually go into like Exodus 15 and 20, going to dancing. And it states, dancing was performed at first on sacred occasions only. It was part of the religious ceremonies of the Egyptians as well as of the Hebrews, and was engaged in many idolatrous nations, and often accompanied with scones of debauchery. Among the Hebrews, it was joined with sacred song and was usually participated in by the women only. When the men danced, it was in companies separate from the women.
Yep.
Dancing not being practiced. So going to the clubs and all of that shit, even that's going off.
Yep.
Because really how, when we go to Aladdin's and you see these other nations like Elam, the women sit at one table.
That's right.
And the men sit at the other table. And even at the old spot I used to live at, it was nothing but Elamites there. You had a company of women, and then the men walked behind them. You never seen them double dating or walking together in that complex I was staying in.
And it makes sense.
diffuse confusion.
Yeah.
You regulate human nature.
That's right.
Y'all so fucking simple, man. You gotta regulate human nature. Like you was saying, the flesh don't know it's eating shrimp. The flesh don't know that it's another man's wife. Like, this is vibe culture. So you catch a vibe with a motherfucker, anything go down. You know what I mean? So you have to have laws to regulate human nature. You know, to put systems over it, man. If not, you're gonna be we're gonna have next congregation.
That's right.
You know?
So the flesh is like the mentality of feed me.
Yeah.
So you gotta start that type of vibration.
Yeah. Who is it? That must be the other bud.
Good.
Oh, okay. Well, ain't answer.
A little more, man. Space. If the ancient Hebrew dances were like those of modern Arabs, we can understand how Miriam led in the dance. One leads off in the step, and the others follow in exact imitation of all the varied movements that she makes. These movements are entirely governed by no fixed rule, but vary at the pleasure of the leader. Dancing was usually performed by the Hebrews in the daytime and in the open air. It was an outward expression of joy.
Singing and dancing to the Lord, man. You know? So you got
Hey, well, any other closing statements? Hey, till the next time, like you. Hey, Yahweh by some, Yahweh side by some, Rakakodash, Brother Thumb, Shalom.
Shalom.
it's behind that camera. It's funny.